And we're back. Hello everybody, DarkPhoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 2 with our dear friend King Sigurdr Ring of Svipjod. I think that's how you say it anyways. Last time we left off, we were trying to get some money back so we could go to war with some people again. Because I have some interest in conquering Norway as well as the rest of Finland, and we need to finish uniting Sweden. Because if you remember these guys, we lost our last war against them. The only war I've lost thus far in this campaign, which was a bit humiliating, I have to admit, because we actually had to fucking surrender to them. As they somehow managed to beat the crap out of us and get an army of 3,000 men, where I had maybe 2,400 or some such. But at the moment, we are waiting and building up our treasury so that we can go to war with them again. Unfortunately, being a pagan, we don't really have the option to take a loan from the Jews, which is what I usually do when I'm out of money and don't already have a loan out. Unfortunately, we can't do that, so we'll just have to wait. It's currently 779, and we're just sort of chilling. We have an army of zealots over here, 700-ish men. Let's see. Kola. This guy, how many troops does he have? Maybe about 1,000. So I can raise a couple of my levies up there and fight them using this army. We have enough points to advance our technology, and I'm going to advance legalism so that we can start doing certain things. Boaz the Cat! Hello and welcome to my live stream. This is Crusader Kings 2. It's a grand strategy game. Anyways, basically it's an RPG where I am derping up my words already. Basically, it's a strategy game, but the focus is on the characters a lot of the time, so basically, I'm not playing as this country, I'm playing as this guy who happens to be the person who holds the title of ruler of this country, if that makes sense. That's basically the best way I can think to describe it. I play as the ruler of a country, and when he dies, I play as his heir. And if I don't have an heir of my dynasty, then the game ends, because I'm also playing as a dynasty. Let's see, I was saying something about changing the laws, I think. Yeah, I wanted to be able to revoke titles. Let's turn that on. Yes, so, dear vassals, please don't go and commit any treasons, or I'll have to take your titles from you. A law that everyone needs to follow me. Doesn't exactly work like that. Though I've got revoked titles in place. I could change my vassal obligations law a bit, but that won't really have much effect because I'm playing what's called a tribal vassal, so I'm not a traditional feudal lord. So so I have to actually call my vassals as if I'm calling allies when I want them to help me out in war, because as you can see from my actual levies I can raise from my vassals, I only have 13 men I can get from them, compared to about 3,000 from my own forces. Because feudal vassals don't have to provide you with levies in the same way, or pay taxes in the same way. You get a lot less taxes from feudal vassals, which is why one of the things I eventually want to start moving towards is becoming a feudal vassal. But there's two problems with that. Number one, I have to upgrade my hill fort several times to do it. Your video? Okay. See you later. Yeah, the problem is I have to upgrade my hill fort a couple of times, which is kind of pricey, considering I'm making less than 1 gold a month in terms of my income. The other problem is it requires some technology that I have to get, so it takes time. But anyways, I was marching this army north to attack some of the traitorous heathen bastards over in Finland. So let's get on with that before this army decides they would rather not stick around. I also need another commander. Let's see, do I have anyone I can appoint? Chief of Helsingland, who is also my steward. Congratulations, you are now a commander in the army. Let's put a couple of people in charge. Oh, that's right, I have my steward disallowed from doing that. And Boaz the cat, thank you for following. And if you're interested in knowing when my streams usually happen, Saturdays and Sundays about 1 or 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is my usual time for streaming. Let's see, my concubine wants to kill me. We can't have that, dear. End your silly plot, or I will have you thrown in the dungeon. Apparently our concubine is so dissatisfied with the sex that she has to murder us. There's a good concubine. Stop your silly plots, for I have to throw you in the dungeon. My Chancellor's doing his improved relations thing. Good on you, Chancellor man. Good on you. So let's see. Cola. Cantalatahe there. I'll take that. Seeing as that will let me access some new territories I can then conquer. Let's see. No liege levies to raise there. I'll raise a handful here. I can't raise those guys' levies, because they are irritating, sanctimonious pricks. I'll raise them in my core region, just in case. Of course, this is going to tank my income a bit, because armies are expensive to maintain in the field, as I have found. That's a lot of men. At least in comparison, I have 1,200 coming in from there. I'll also call another 1,000 of my banners down there, just to be on the safe side. Unfortunately, we're almost certainly gonna lose that fight, just because of how badly outnumbered we are. But it will make us retreat. It seems the young women no longer have the power to seduce me. King Sigurdr has lost the lustful trait. Also, why is he on one of the flanks? I told him to be in the head of the army. There, much better. 28 Marshal, so hopefully this helps us delay that battle. And my severe injury has gone away and I'm now scarred again. We are getting to be just a veteran badass, that much I can tell you for sure. And yes, we're going into a budget deficit. I knew that would happen, yet I attacked anyways. I'm kind of dumb like that in a lot of ways. But for now, I'll have these forces hold there. They'll lay siege a bit, but I have about 2,000 men that are going to be linking up for an attack. Even if we do have that region occupied, this will go my way easily. Yeah, it got occupied. King, please take charge, and your wife can have the flank. I find it kind of cool that being a Germanic pagan means that our spouse can command armies. It's kind of a neat difference. Not something I knew a lot about, seeing as it's been a while since I played CK2 before this campaign, for reasons. Okay. My wife killed the person that was dueling there. That's nice. So our wife is a practiced duelist as well. That is cool. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? We managed to lose that fight. That's ridiculous. Okay, our son is taken to wearing a pair of heavy shaking breeches for protection while practicing his combat skills. Because of this, our kinsmen and friends have started calling him Ragnar Lothbrok. He becomes brawny and diligent. Basically, objectively good in every possible way. My father-in-law just died under suspicious circumstances. And we will mock our rival again. He wants to duel us? Sure, why not? Now I'll link up these forces. Let's see, we severely injured that idiot. Now we've got to link up my forces and take these guys out. It would seem I slightly underestimated how many men he could field. So let's get everyone up there together, and then we march on him. And we'll be liberating our lost territory soon as well. 3,000 men. Move on him. And we can finish this. Get our territory back. Get some more land. And start working on resolving this budget deficit of ours. As we're going to be in debt for a while, annoyingly enough. For a variety of reasons. Including the fact that I had to muster my own forces rather than just relying on those that got called up. But for now, we attack with a slight penalty, but we outnumber him 2-1. So hopefully that will give us enough of an edge. And it didn't. The fuck? Apparently outnumbering someone 2-1 is not gonna cut it. Will make my son ambitious. I'm going to call the forces from a couple of our vassals. This is just embarrassing, it really is. Already raised those forces. I'm going to have to kill that bastard now. I'm very annoyed by how badly this war has gone so far. Backup from my vassals has arrived though, so let's murder their faces. Some men got raised because prestige. My vassals called in their forces. We actually won that time. And I get my hands on the territory I was after. Stand down, our vassals' men. We are one too big in terms of our territory. I'll have to give that away to someone else. Let's have a look at my court and see if I can't find an appropriate vassal. This guy, let's see. Elusive shadow, zealous, gluttonous, brave, charitable, slothful. I think he'll have to do. We don't really have any alternatives. Candelax, yeah. You have that. Unfortunately, we're quite deep into debt as a result of that war, so it's going to be a while before I can do anything else. But we found the white bear, so it's time to go off bear hunting, or try to at any rate. Ormer here doesn't have a childhood focus. See, he can take etiquette, just so one of my kids has that. And the amount of income we're making has gone up by 0.01 per month. Lovely. Just fucking lovely, isn't it? 0.01 a month. I become humble? Because I didn't blame my vassals for not binding the bear, and didn't want to be arbitrary. People are conspiring to kill us. Well, they can conspire all they like, so long as they don't actually do anything. A new bird has arrived in the Muse, and a new book on the art of writing poetry is in the library. We are going hunting, I think. Warriors do not read books! An internet cookie to you if you got that reference, by the way. Rabbit after rabbit was caught, killed, and brought to me by my new bird. Get +1 diplomacy for being an aspiring falconer. And are now making 1 gold every month. Nice. Though, you know, I actually think I will change my laws so that tribal vassals have to give me more taxes. Just because we really are struggling for money at the moment, especially when we mobilize our forces for a war. Tax shifted. That's what I'll be going for. Of course, we have to wait until June 789 to be able to change that law. That's about another 7 years or so. One of our subjects can be imprisoned without incurring tyranny, because he's the leader of a plot. He wants to kill us. But he'll end the plot without arguments, so I'm fine with that. Ragnar has finished his education in the ways of war, and has become a skilled tactician. A pity he didn't become a brilliant strategist, but second best, I suppose. He's a marshal of 16, so our son is definitely also going to be a badass on the field, just like his dad. But we need to arrange a marriage for him. And there's no one in our court that's really suited. So we need to find him an appropriate spouse. Woman not in prison, not married. I don't care if they're a ruler, really. Within our diplomatic range. My religion. If they're not too young, they can not be an adult, I suppose. Let's see. Courtier in Ostergotland. 29. No, that's too old. We need someone he can have kids with. Let's see. Mind is touched. Proud, lustful, erudite, and wroth. Not the best for Marshall, but excellent stewardship. We could hold so many more lands with this decade. Here, I am going to see about arranging a marriage between her and my heir. She's a lowborn, so we would lose 200 prestige, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I'll just take the prestige hit in order to get her as my son's wife. She arrives at the court. And we are going to take the money that we can get for this, just in order to offset our own financial issues. And I am now a falconer. Well done me. For now, we're going to put a halt on the expansion ever so briefly. Smuggler's ring has gone up. That's not good news. As I was saying, we pause on our expansion for the time being. I'll go back on it once we're able to again and have a bit of money saved up. Someone here has been imprisoned by our Chancellor. I don't care about that, quite frankly. I just do not care. Constantinopolis. Let's see what our spy masters got us from Constantinople. 50 military, economic, or cultural. Looks like we got some more points there. Now, our son needs a childhood focus. We'll give him struggle. Actually, no. I'll give him thrift. See if we can get him interested in finances. Our hunting dog has unfortunately passed away, though. Now it's time to bury our old friend. And he will get the proper funeral he deserves. Aw, that's kind of sad. Now I'm sad. It's a dog in a game, and yet I'm getting sad about the fact that he's dead, even though there's minimal actual interaction. That's just how awesome this is. My steward gets a little better at being a marshal, apparently. Speaking of our steward, he's not forbidden to lead armies, but in doing that, makes it a little trickier to be head of an army while you're trying to gather forces to fight for my glory. I've been at peace for too long, so we're going to start losing prestige every month. Fortunately, the amount we lose is equal to the amount we gain, so it balances out. And oh balls, those jackasses in Schillen down there are getting too powerful. I don't know that I can really take them on. Hang on a second. Their king. What titles does he have? One petty kingdom. if I killed... No. What I would like is for him to have multiple sons. That way, his realm would be split when I assassinate him, and I could just pick it off piece by piece. That doesn't appear to be an option right now, and he's not very assassinatable either. But I can't go to war with him, unfortunately. But he's gonna have to be my next target, probably. For now, we'll just have to rebuild our coffers a bit, I think. Truce with Kimmy is expiring. That's those guys there. I'll be able to conquer his lands easily enough. Get them and Kola out of the way, and then move on to Finnmarku. I want to take as much of the unaffiliated land in Scandinavia as I can, and time for another bear hunt. I want to take as much of the unaffiliated land as I can before I fight a war with these guys, because they're probably going to be a bit of an issue. Speaking of... what? Oh, Charlemagne apparently bit it at some point, because we have King Grifo the Evil of West, East, and Middle Francia ruling now. He has a claim on Bavaria and a claim on Lombardy. We'll see if he's going to push either of those. He also has a couple of ongoing revolts at the moment. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. And Jumpland there has had war declared on them with a border dispute cast a spell over one of my vassals. So let's hope they win that, then I can get that bit of land. Even if it does make one of my vassals a bit stronger, it's some more land within my territory. And I would very much appreciate that. My concubine is pregnant. We're going to have a lot of sons. That's going to make the succession a bit awkward. My spy masters apparently found an artifact somewhere. Very vague information, but we'll send him off to look for it anyways. Just in case it turns out to not be nonsense. And there is the end of that war, rather quickly. Unfortunately, that chief has rather a lot of power. I don't like this. This is a vassal with far too much power, as I'm concerned. The chief of Meldipad has a bit of a power block. So I think I need to get his title revoked. Let's see if I called all of my forces at once. I don't need them. I'm going to have them muster up there for now. And we're going to have to go into debt again. Also, my marshal is dead. Alright. Now, we see how he responds. I doubt it will be with an acceptance. And just as I thought, he's going to fight us. Then war it is, bitch. War it is. And you see now why I want this fool stripped of his territory. He has 4 counties under his control. That is far too much power for a single vassal. Now we're going to go squish him with the king's army, while our other force, under some random captain I imagine, lays siege. Constantinople gives us some more technology. Well done, Spymaster. Well done indeed, these. Keep on improving those relations, Chancellor. And their army is already routing. Really? You want to kill my Spymaster? Please cut that out. Honestly, I swear, half these plots seem to be just there to mess with me, rather than an actual, genuine plot. So now I'm gonna divide up my forces to lay siege to multiple places at the same time. And thank you for stopping your nonsense. Thank you indeed, Seas. Another few days and we should win that siege. We have a daughter. And I'm going to keep the name Astrid, just because I think it's kind of neat. That we're naming our daughter after the head of the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim. At least that's how I imagine it to be. Now you can march over to Mildapad and lay siege to that. Then we'll have everything under lockdown. And of course, more bad events because of being in debt and losing money. Lovely. I would have liked to have waited to do something like this until we had our money back, but that was not an option, sadly. For the time being, we could just lay siege while losing money. Isn't that just wonderful? Don't you absolutely adore laying siege while you're going broke? Ain't it just great? Haha. Well, we've got 2 of our sieges getting close to finishing. Trying to bring your just shy of 300 men back to help out. Well, that's worthless. My spymaster is no longer doing his job. I assume he's probably dead. And here I think, even though he's not the best person we could hire, I'm going to appease one of my vassals by putting him on the council as the spymaster, even though he wouldn't be the greatest at it. You can try to study technology in Constantinople, I think. Like your predecessor. And we'll just see what happens. So that's 2 of you. I'm going to... Apparently occupied territory doesn't count as friendly. There we go. That war has been won. Angermanland is no longer yours. Let's stand down all our forces. And I need to replace one of my vassals. Let's see. This fellow is incapable and has no family. And he's 54. Well, I don't have a large court of people I can give titles to at the moment, so I'll do what I always do when I have that problem and can't afford to pay for people from the options. I'll go into the court of my vassals and offer the titles to one of those people. Now I'll do that. And now, because you committed treason, I am perfectly justified in stripping you of another title. Apparently he's going to say no if I do this, though, so I'll wait until my budgetary situation is resolved. But I can strip him of one of his titles legally now, since he revolted against me. Therefore, he is considered a traitor to the realm. Yes, I did that on purpose. Our daughter doesn't have an education focus. we are going to give her a stewardship education, I think. Making money again, and we should hopefully be in the positive again. With not too much time to go. For now, though, I have a little bit of waiting while I get my economy back in shape. We have almost 5,000 men I'll be able to call soon enough. My wife is known as the Vixen. Best title ever. And has killed someone on the field of battle. So yeah, our wife is a badass. I think, therefore, that it's time, based on some other stuff, that it's time for us to get a haircut. There. Much better. And looking nice for a 54-year-old man. That much is for certain. Down to minus 11 for our income, though 54 years old. That's quite old for someone in the Middle Ages, so chances are pretty good that we're not going to live much longer. We could die fairly soon. That wouldn't be entirely unexpected, quite frankly. Our daughter seems quick to praise the deeds of others around her while neglecting her own activity and development. Chance of her becoming kind? Yeah, why not? So, now, I'm going to put us up to 4 speed because there's not a whole lot happening and I want to get to the point where things are going on again. But we have some building that we can do now. Let me see. Military organization. Give us the possibility to do some morales, siege equipment, and cavalry. Next I'll get construction and improved keeps. I'll leave the other one for another time, but there's some technology upgrades. Apparently we need to have positive gold to be able to build stuff. Did not know that. So we'll stick with this for now. Getting very close to having positive gold again. Fall of the Avars. The Avar Khaganate was established in Europe in 567 after the Avars had migrated into the Carpathian Basin from the east. Sorry about that. Got interrupted because apparently smelling coffee is of the utmost importance. Coffee beans, by the way, not actual coffee. Anyways, blah 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 blah. The Avars are out of their dynasty is out of Hungary, and it's called Pannonia now. Okay. And now we have a granddaughter. I'm going to make you name her Ingild, because I like that name. For reasons. That tree is expired, that one will soon, so we can just eat the two of them fairly soon. Not literally, of course, that would be kind of creepy. We'll be into the positive for income again soon, so that should be kind of helpful. Rise of the Shia Islamic schism mumbo jumbo that we up here in Scandinavia don't give a crap about. You have fun with your silly little schisms now. I'll be over here conquering people in the name of glory. Finnmarku's grown quite a bit, I see. It's time for one of these again. We found a small cottage in the wilds. It's a beautiful young woman who is inviting us in. We'll go for it and become lustful again. We wake with a warm body next to us. Spent a long, pleasant night in the cabin, but it's time to get back to the world outside. She looks me in the eyes and asks me to stay a bit longer. Why don't you come back to court with me? I already have a bunch of concubines and a wife. What's one more? Apparently, I can't make her a concubine. I guess because we're full up with 3 concubines, though. I never understood why there was a limit to the number of concubines you could have. It's probably a game balance thing, but narratively speaking, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You could have 50 concubines if you wanted to, and it would make narrative sense as far as I'm concerned. But I guess the developers might think that was a little bit overpowered, which I can kind of understand. Now, can't build anything there. I could raise a fleet of 18 ships if I wanted to transport some of my forces. I don't have ship building high enough up, unfortunately. But let's see. Plenty of titles I could create. Unfortunately, I have no need to create any of them. However, what I am going to do is upgrade some of these places and get some more buildings in place. As I've said before, Sigurdr here isn't going to be around forever, so when we eventually do die, I want to have my heir be in a strong position. And let's get a housecarl training ground, please. Now, I want my heir to be in a reasonably strong position. Because succession as a pagan, and I remember this from the last time I played this one, it's tricky because it's a very might makes right kind of society where you have to prove that you're strong enough to lead to get respect, otherwise you'll be overthrown, and your time as a leader is history, more or less. Not interested in either of those. And I may in fact give some of them away. If I can find anyone who's interested. And keep some of the titles I'll be revoking up here from this prick. By the way, what's this power nonsense? We're way stronger than he is. Which is all. We've been at peace for too long. It's time to go into debt again. By the way, I'll be having your title now, dearie, and I very much doubt he's managed to rebuild enough forces to be a challenge just yet. The king can take that army, his son takes the flank. Our forces will march over to deal with the inevitable traitor. Some forces that want glory have turned up. Yeah, that's so cute. And these rebels think they have a chance. And he revolted again, so does that mean I can take another of his titles? Just for the hell of it? Or not? It would be nice if I could, but I have a sneaking suspicion that might be considered pushing things. Kill him there. We'll split you in half and have you go over and siege Meldapad. Yes, inevitably going to go into debt a little bit. Please murder his army. Can do that. That guy is insistent on running away like a little bitch, so I'll just chase him around forever. I don't think anyone's going to complain, quite honestly. It's only a traitor, after all. That's one siege down, and we are already at 47%. Make that 2 sieges. And we win. Nice and quicksy. Put our forces away again. And now I can revoke these titles. Let's see. Which of these is the most valuable to him? Probably Meldapad or Gem to Land are the ones he values the most. I'm going to take Meldapad. I'd like to, if at all possible, take all but one of his titles. He's a traitor. We can just revoke another one, so... Gem to Land? Now, can I revoke his last title? No, that's going a bit too far, but he's down to a single county now. And we revoked a bunch of his titles. Now we'll distribute these titles to members of his court. Just to screw him over. Oh no, that guy's ambitious, so I don't think so. Let's see, you are a playful child of a concubine? You, I'm going to... Do I want to do anything else with him? Execute, banish, ransom. Yeah, I am going to ransom him off. Not only to get myself back into the positive, but just to make him pay a little bit for his own freedom, I think. Now, court, who can I give some titles to? I don't want to give titles to any of my sons because potentially that will cause succession issues. If we have pretenders to my heir's throne who have titles themselves, they might think that gives them more rights to the throne because they have a power base. So I'd like to avoid that. I will distribute the titles to members of his court, though. Actually, though, I'm going to give you that. I will keep Meldapad for myself. Just to have something in the region. Now, let us see if he accepts. Does indeed. I will take that ransom money. Now, my 12-year-old son needs an education. You can have one in stewardship. Now, unfortunately, as I said before... Oh, I can revoke his title now. He's a traitor. And the fact that we've beaten him up twice and taken all but one of his lands, he realizes he has no choice or he will suffer the same again. So say goodbye to the last of your titles, please. Say goodbye. I'll also be keeping that, by the way. I'm trying to centralize my power base down here, so I'll abandon the stuff up in the north in favor of territory that's closer by. But now, what is there for me to do? As to that, I don't know. Let's see, we've got this fellow locked away. He's just some lowborn nobody. Release him. Now. I can actually do this. I will invite a noble to court. He's ambitious. I don't want ambitious people. Okay, you'll do. I would like to make you a noble, so have a title. Roll the Jimmy there. I'm thinking of giving away. Well, that'll have to wait. However, we're doing well. I thought practice range has just been built. More bear hunting to be done. I'm going to want to start building hill forts so I can move towards going feudal. But I'll wait on that for now. No, I'm not making my daughter ambitious. Having someone other than my heir being ambitious is a recipe for disaster, so I should like to avoid that, if possible. We have a grandson now, and he's named after us. It's kind of sweet. Our son likes us enough to name our grandson after him. Time to go bear hunting. Yeah, not going so well. We don't have any prisoners, unfortunately, so I can't hold a great blot. Why does my steward want to kill this dire guy? He's seemingly just a nobody. Whatever. You have fun with your random murder attempt that makes no sense to me. Speaking of, let's start upgrading a few of these places. Just some basic stuff. Now, no, Training Grounds 2. And continue on making money. I'd like to keep us in the double digits like that if possible, but I don't know how possible that will be. April and December of this year, 2 of our constructions we've got going on will be finished. Didn't bother to check what months, but there's the April one done. Now I have an army to fight my religious enemies. So, Kemi, I'm going to be attacking you next, as you're tiny and pathetic and pathetic and tiny and pathetic. Did I mention you're tiny? And did I mention you're pathetic? Because you are. So yeah, that's the thing. I'll be attacking you, just to get your ugly border gore off my map. Kola will come after, of course, because I would like to conquer them. Because conquest. I clearly need no more reason than that to want to conquer their asses. That's 188 there, puts us about 1100. He doesn't have anywhere near that. In fact, I could probably do without calling my own banners. For this, I can just fight with the religious guys. For now, let's get everyone ready to march. Then I'll declare war on him and invade. Oh. That's a few more men than I thought he had. Let's call for a bit of vassal help, just to be on the safe side. I'd like to win this as easily as I can. I don't want you. There. Get as many men called up as possible. And I'll bring in my own forces from the capital, just to be on the safe side. He'll be taking the crossing penalty, which should help. And we've got vassal reinforcements on the way in to help us out. Goodbye, useless fools. You can be routed, and I do not actually need to call in that force of my own levies, thanks to the vassals. And now we'll just lay siege to that place, take it over, and job done. And these aren't my forces, they're just volunteers, so assault. I generally don't assault just because it can go badly in my experience, but this was the exception. That's one more piece of land for us. And we will of course give it to an old man with no family. Because that makes tons of sense. I don't know why I do that. I mean, he's just going to die of old age without an heir, and it'll come back to us. But it gets having to deal with that bit of land out of our hair for the time being. So I'm fine with it. No prisoners, so not going to hold a great blot. Why is the chief of Gem to land a threat? Oh, we have an independence faction. Didn't notice. It's so small and insignificant, I couldn't be bothered to notice that they existed. That's how much I don't care about those buffoons. It really is. I just can't be bothered to care about them. They're so irrelevant. Hello, war camp? Now, what next? I think I'll build a training grounds in my capital. There goes 200 prestige, but that will increase the levy there some more. And I need to get my personal troops up to a numerical standard where they'd actually be helpful in putting down a rebellion if Ragnar ends up having to fight one when he takes the throne. You, Magnus, can have your stewardship education. So now, things are going relatively well. For whatever reason, I am making absolutely no money, according to the tooltip. Which is not true, because the amount just went up. Looks like I have a tooltip bug. Maybe reloading would help with that, but I'm not going to bother. My daughter has also finished her stewardship education and has attained nothing less than a masterful level of knowledge. She is Midas touched. Very good at stewardship, +9 in fact. Oh, whoever we marry her off to is just going to be salivating at the prospect of that. But I will hold off on that for the time being. One of my vassals and my spy master have formed an alliance. I see. I have to keep an eye on that, but for the time being, it doesn't bother me. Alliances cropping up now, it seems. And I didn't notice this before, but Saxony has become independent, and West Francia has become France. France, Germany, and Austrasia is the kingdoms ruled by this kid. And it's no longer Charlemagne's house that is in charge, which would be why France is a thing rather than Francia. England is still doing its usual thing. Same with the Byzantine Empire. And there's an army of 3,000 in not Denmark. Apparently they got taken over by someone who was better at his job than the old one. I really should have attacked earlier, but I was in debt. So I'll have to just absorb the rest of Scandinavia before I come after them, I think. Another alliance between vassals. The independent faction has finally realized that I didn't even care enough about them to acknowledge them, and have disbanded. Excellent. Massive recruitment drive. Well done. 2 more of our buildings have completed, which should help give us some more bonuses. That should be nice. Now, let's see. Next February, our training grounds will be done, and next December, our other training grounds will be done. Upland is prospering. No, we're not going to put you on our council. Sorry. I know you'd love that, but we can't. By the way, before I forget, my dear tribal vassals, I have the duty to inform you that your taxes will be higher from now on, because our coffers need to be filled. Will drop us down to 1 speed when I look at other things. Now when we hit 799, I'm going to start changing some of the organization and centralization laws up a little bit. We finally have our bloody tooltip back, and we didn't get much in the way of income out of that. We make plus 1.04 now, as opposed to the 0.98 or something that it was before, so not much in the way of income. My daughter-in-law had a baby. Okay. Can't really be overly bothered to care about that, quite frankly. That's a training grounds. Done! My son seeks to kill someone named Trigge of Angermanland. Who are they, and why does my son seek to kill them? Oh, it's one of my vassals. One who actually likes me. So please, son, cut it out. I don't need you getting rid of vassals who like me. In fact, there are no vassals who dislike me now, so you could please not plot to kill any of them. I would really appreciate that. Okay, so at the end of next year is when our other training grounds will finish. Our concubine is pregnant again. Yes, King Sigurdr here certainly doesn't have trouble making babies, now does he? our lover is pregnant with our child as well. We're over our vassal limit, but I'm going to ignore those problems for now. That will expire in a few years, so it's not something I need to address at this moment in time. Our income has also gone down. Lovely. Let's see. No one around me I can offer vassalization to. That's annoying. So now... what to do? Visit our lover. I think if she's feeling down, we can pay her a visit. This High Chief apparently only has 500 men, but we've been told that before. And it's turned out to be utter lies, so we... let's see, conquer Kola. I could go after Finnmarku to get a bit of Norway if I wanted. How many men? 2.3k? No, I'll go for Kola for now. It's the easy target. We'll gather those men, then march off to attack. He only has about 500. Shouldn't take that long. So go murder their faces for me, please. And I will reward you with lands. Son from one of my concubines. And we have our child with our lover now. Our queen will be none too happy if we acknowledge that we have a bastard. But I'm going to acknowledge it. Alright. Let's get ourselves over to Kola. We can take over their territory. While their local idiots are off doing whatever it is they do while I'm invading their lands. Ah, they're trying to reverse invade. My Chancellor is also dead. You can take over. My replacement isn't as good, but we don't really use the Chancellor for a whole lot, being a pagan ruler. Drag a bunch of people out. He's trying to lay siege to our capital. That's cute, but you've already lost this war. Stand down our forces. Now, who have we got that I can give a title to? Not seeing anyone, but one of my vassals, I can give it to their subjects. So there you go. And we're pushing into Finland now. Sighting of the bear. They just grew again, didn't they? I fucking knew it. And now Finnmark is coming under attack. Yeah, if those bastards try to attack me, I am going to hurt them. My courtier, our daughter-in-law, just died under suspicious circumstances. My son needs a new spouse. He only has 2 children, that's not good enough. Let's see. She'll do. Brilliant strategist and all that, and the relative of a noble, so we actually get prestige for marrying them rather than lose it. She arrives at court and they hook up. Very nice. Very nice indeedy. We're off on the bear hunt again. Our son has excelled at his stewardship. Not as much as our daughter. He's only a fortune builder, not Midas touched, but still excellent. 19 stewardship. Speaking of, I should really be doing something about the provinces in my territory that are not my religion. Try and convert Lapland for me, would you? I don't think my odds are too great, but I want to give it a shot anyhow. And we have now turned 60. And failed to catch the bear again. Because that seems to be just what we do. Failed to catch the bear. And we have a peasant revolt in Kola. A newly conquered territory. I would rather you peasants didn't revolt, if it's all the same to you. Revolts are very annoying, and I'd prefer they didn't happen. You cool with that? Apparently not. Just call my banners in a couple of locations and send them up to squish the revolt. I don't know if we'll need even a fraction of those men, but I'm gonna send them anyways. Just as insurance, basically. Call you to arms. A thing was built. And now... oh dear. I've just become infirm. Not good. Not at all. But, on the plus side, we have put down the peasant revolt. Everyone go home. Peasant revolt has been crushed. And my wife was apparently slain in single combat. I'm unmarried. Let's see. Uvajay. So they killed each other in personal combat? That's weird. That's really weird. I became wounded. Oh dear. We are no longer infirm. We are now incapable. Our son, who doesn't like us very much, is the regent. Unfortunately, we don't have control of enough of the realm to be able to create the Kingdom of Sweden, which would be nice because that would ensure that all of our titles would stay unified in one realm. But we're not going to be able to do that this time around. And I'm down in size quite a bit. I'm now have a smaller vassal limit. That's very unfortunate. Won't be until 799 that we're actually capable of passing another law. And I want to get more centralization so we can have more vassals within our realm. My granddaughter can get the struggle focus, I think. We're making less money now. Less than 1, despite the taxes. But, being that we are now incapable, I wonder how long it's going to take for us to die. I also have to choose a new focus for myself. Or not, because all of them have the... all of them are gated behind the thing that you cannot be incapable. That's unfortunate. Okay, what's going on here? Nonsense we don't really care about. Yrsa. Our son had another daughter with his new wife. So he has 1 son and 2 daughters now. He's working on the goal of having as many children as father did, no doubt. Title inherited because our chancellor died. Our scar is healed. Take your damn job and go. More tradition points from Constantinople. Always nice to have. Always nice to have. So now, I should probably be doing some construction with my prestige. Just to make sure that we're in a good enough position when the succession happens. Because Civil War bullshit and all that. I don't have the prestige to build anything but those 2, but that will do for now. But I can build that, I suppose. Let's see. Zoroastrian faith dispute? I do not care. And to be honest, I don't give a crap. I just don't care. I'm gonna drop our speed down to as slow as it can go. for that reason, I didn't quite manage it, but I wanted to stop it here because I think this is a good ending point for this session, because quite a bit of stuff's happened in our internal affairs, even if we didn't expand a massive amount. But I'm gonna leave it here. So, this has been DarkPhoenix Gaming. If you have enjoyed this, then please follow my channel. Check out the VODs when I upload them to my YouTube channel. And subscribe to me on YouTube for other random Let's Play videos and stuff like that. So, I will see you next time. So long for now. Take care, everybody.